Hi, and welcome to Simplify Your Business. I'm David Wolf from Small Biz America, here with Melanie Rembrandt from Rembrandt Communications. Melanie, good morning.
Welcome, everyone. Good morning, David. How are you today?
Doing great. Really excited about this whole idea. You and I have developed a new podcast series, derivative from a lot of the work you do around how do we simplify? We're living in a world where, we got 24/7 news cycles. We've got stress from this end and from that end and from families, and the world is moving really fast.
Exactly. And you and I have both gone through the trenches. We've built successful businesses, and we know how it is. And it can just be overwhelming. You have so much to do with your business. You just don't know where to turn sometimes. So that's why we're going to do this. We're just going to provide simple tips that you can really use to help grow your business and kind of get rid of all the noise out there.
Right. So we're going to put this out on a podcast. It's also going to be floating, of course, on the network of radio stations that we run at Podcast and Radio Networks, and make it available for anybody who really wants to begin to look into what it means to sort of get subtractive about what you're thinking about so that you can focus on the things that are going to provide results for you.
Exactly.
So that's good stuff. And each show is going to have some really tangible tips. We were just talking about this. There are plenty of podcasts out there that, where the two hosts or the host will pontificate on a subject. We're going to really try to, just like the name says, we're going to try to simplify the delivery of the information as well as what we're telling you to do in terms of the tips. And Melanie's been heads down working on this sort of stuff in the blog that she's produced over many, many years. And we've got a lot of content that we can reuse and distribute to you here to just make your life easier and help you. A lot of us don't know what questions to ask, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you get inundated with emails and websites and, what information's important?
Yeah, the noise, as you call it. I love that. It is. It's like white noise.
Right.
Or pink noise, if you prefer. if you're gender sensitive. But this is great. All right. So we're going to start, and we'll be releasing, I think, weekly, right, Melanie?
That's the plan.
So you can find us on iTunes. You can find us everywhere. And we'll keep going. And we want to hear from you as well. Let's talk a little bit about how people can communicate with us once they've heard this and, give us the feedback we need.
Exactly. I mean, we want to hear from everyone out there, too, to find out what their main problems are right now that they just need some help with and,
right.
Quick tips.
Yeah, there may be some very specific things that you need. All right, so shall we dive into this one? We're going to keep these really short as well for those listening. Just, again, it's all about simplicity. So
yes.
This idea about deciding what we want in life, this comes up a lot. It's not just about business. I mean, we are people that run businesses. We are people that own businesses. So let's throw this out for a little bit of discussion and maybe some tips around how to make the decision about what do you want, right?
Exactly. I think we get so inundated with administrative tasks and just getting through our to-do list, we forget the big picture.
Right.
I think it's really important. I think the first tip is focus on what you want in life. I mean, this includes your family, your friends, outside activities. I mean, let's just say if you were to die today, do you want to spend it, spending 12 hours in front of your computer?
Right.
So
Right.
I think you need to keep that in the back of your mind.
Right, definitely. I mean, simplification, again, it can be a very subtractive thing, just pulling things out and really being conscious of what you're spending time on. That's a part of it, too. That's a little more tactical. I think this big idea of deciding what you want in your life is, that can be a lifelong journey, and it can change over the different chapters of your life, too.
Exactly. And then, once you figure that out, I think the next step would be create goals. And you hear that and think, oh my gosh, I don't have time to write all this down. And it's really whatever works for you. But you really need to figure out how you're going to get from point A to point B and what point B is. So if that's just writing a note to yourself every day, week, or month, what do I need to accomplish? You just need to have some system in place of what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, it's really important, I think, too. And the successful people that I've interviewed over the years on the podcast, the other podcast, Small Biz America, have talked about routines, daily routines. And this is part of that as well. It feeds into this idea of being a whole person and being healthy every way. But the goals and putting things on a timeline, if you make to-do lists and make them short, they don't have to be long, but every day, just have a few things that you're going to accomplish and then be accountable to yourself for those things. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You're going to feel really good after you've accomplished 1, 2, and 3. And then the other thing that was suggested by one of my colleagues, George Lovato, was reset after lunch because, what's important and prioritized can change over the course of a day.
Exactly. And it feels so good at the end of the day to kind of check off that item that you were dying to get done on your list. So It's a little positive thing at the end of the day. But the other thing too is as you're going through your goals and your activities, start looking at the distractions of what you're focusing on and what really matters. For example, how long do you really spend on Facebook each day? How long do you spend reading all of these newsletters you receive, all of these videos, emailing friends or sending a text out? I mean, you might really be surprised at how much time you're actually wasting.
Well, I want to ask you about something, and this comes up for a lot of the people that are solopreneurs. And by the way, I'm a part of this club. We're home-based. And you may be too. I think you may be. So what's some advice you can give to? I mean, not everybody's wired to work at home, but some are forced to simply because of the economics of their situation. So how can we help people get rid of the noise that may be happening at home because they're in a context where they live too?
That's so important. And a lot of people like to work with noise. Personally, I like to lock myself in my office, in a quiet office, and everyone knows to leave me alone. But,
right.
I think you just need to set boundaries. If you have, other people that live with you, put a note on the door and have them respect that. Hey, I'm on a call, try to be quiet during this time period. Again, it comes back to what works for you. And you just have to set the boundaries and let people know in your family what's going on. And also if you have pets or you're taking care of children, you just have to work that in so it works for your schedule.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is time management. And I mean, some of this sounds intuitively obvious as we sort of think about it, but you need to, I think writing things down and documenting a plan can be really helpful. Journaling and, okay, what happened? Reflect back on what did or did not happen in your day and why. And begin to call out, parse out the important things and the non-important things, the noise from the substance, and that can really help.
Exactly. And although this seems obvious, you can easily forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's just, in a nutshell, think about what's important to you, figure out your goals, and, kind of revisit your goals over time to see where you are and where you're going.
Exactly. So that's it for today. We're going to leave our tips short and sweet. Simplify your business here on the Small Biz America and our other family of networks on podcast and radio. Melanie, where can people reach out? Let's give the website. There's a landing page, right? Is there a landing page?
I don't have it set up yet.
Well, what's it going to be when it is set up?
It will, it's probably going to be it's going to be on your podcast link. Yeah, talk about going with the flow and having an overwhelming schedule.
Yeah, listen, one of the reasons we show up here to do this is because, we have symptoms as well that we'll share with you, and we'll... All right.
Busted. No, check on the link on the where you found this podcast site, and we will be promoting it there. And in the future podcast, we'll be able to give you the link.
All right, perfect. So you'll find us then again, another installment of Simplify coming up soon. Thanks, Melanie.
Thanks, everyone.